So, how do you think moving forward that you're going to be able to, do you think you're going to be able to take anybody in a serious state of mind? Or is it still going to be just kind of like you're too foggy to like
Uh,
pursue somebody else?
There we go. Now it's making
it's recording.
take me down to LA. Find a place I call my own. Try to fix up. Start a brand new thing. Know that I'm picking up. She love me all up. Ups and downs. I hear her calling. See the lonely boy out on the weekend, trying to make it. Lemonade joy tries to speak, can't begin to say.
Do you remember when you met Bradley?
I
I don't
do.
remember.
I do. It was like, so it was at my house. I think y'all came to my place. Presley's birthday or my birthday.
Oh, is
We
that
were
how you
all,
met him?
I don't think that was the weekend I met him, but I think I met, no.
There's so many
Because I
significant
took pictures,
moments.
because I took like this, me and him have a really cute picture. One of my favorite pictures is with him.
Do you remember where you when you met Bradley?
Oh, first time we met Bradley.
Right, yeah. Like I don't remember.
Me neither.
You know what's funny? Is that's what Haley said. That's what our the beginning of the video was. I'm like, do you remember where you met him? And she goes, I think it was at my house. Like everybody's got so much going on. You know what I mean?
No, I think we actually met at his house. You told me to pull up at his house.
Oh, and his parents were out of
Yeah,
town.
yeah.
This is before you met his parents.
Yeah.
Because you did meet his
Yeah, I
parents.
did.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So I do
Oh my
remember.
God.
I do remember.
Okay. I ain't right. I ain't that bitch no more.
Because I have a picture on my Instagram of me at his place
Yeah,
that
because I took
night.
those pictures. Remember?
And that was pretty
They
like
were so
early
pretty.
into y'all's relationship, I think.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was. I felt very
So
comfortable.
like that was the first time I met
with you
him.
being around him. I keep forgetting the main purpose of this, and it's about love, right? It's hard to show a whole lot of love when you've been shown nothing but a bunch of, I don't want to call it hate, but for lack of better terms, Um, this is a sensitive subject for me because I feel like if certain people involved within the situation handle things differently, then I wouldn't have such ill things I want to say. But unfortunately, things have transpired and life happens, right? And at the end of the day, it is what it is, right? Um, it was very bothersome, the things that happened after um, Bradley passed. But this is about Bradley and it's about love and something I've time and time again done because I've made this several times. I keep losing track of what it is that I'm trying to accomplish by making this video. And it's not to bash anyone. It's not to place blame upon people like some have on me. For no reason. The things that have been said to me are just wild. I'll put it that way. And I'll leave it at that. Because unlike the people that said this stuff or thought this stuff, I actually have enough maturity, couth, and love for someone to not make anyone feel bad about themselves, especially when they've done nothing wrong. No matter what I think at the end of the day or what I know at the end of the day, it's not going to matter.
What was their impression of you?
That I was the reason why he had
Had
this
had the
problem.
problem?
That's exactly what
And
his
you were like
sister said.
that you enabled him, or
Texted my phone and said, straight up was blaming me. You know, it took me 2 days to respond to her too, but I tried to be nice. But anyways,
I just wanted to express my way of showing what really happened. I think that what really happened deep down is not going to the people that are involved, they're just not going to gain anything by knowing the truth. And the truth is so far from what they think. Like, I don't care what they think. The people that think these things of me, and they think, you know, the blamingfulness and whatever else, and what has been said, it was said because they needed someone to blame. And you would hate for me to sit here and say anything hateful. He would hate that. He would hate to see any of the hateful things that have gone on after all of this transpired. He would have hated to see that, and it would have made him sick to see the things that have gone on after. And I hate to be that person, but it's the truth. It's hard for me to put it into words because it's contradictive. You know, lovingly, I genuinely have a story to tell here. And I would hate for it to go unnoticed, the things that went on, because I think that, I don't know if it's a rare story, but if there are people out there that are going through these things, or even similar, I would love to know.
I don't think he knew.
I don't think he knew that was going to happen.
So, how do you think moving forward that you're going to be able to? Do you think you're going to be able to take anybody in a serious state of mind, or is it still going to be just kind of like you're too foggy to like pursue somebody else? Do you even see that is it even something?
Like, I don't even think about that. I don't think about
Because when you love somebody, like that doesn't like just because they're unavailable, it doesn't mean that you would go choose somebody.
The
You know, like
thing
even if he
is-
was there, you know what I mean. Like you still don't care.
I consider him
Yeah.
the love of my life,
Right, so-
regardless of what it
And,
looks
yeah.
like on the outside from anybody else's
Yeah,
point of view.
And you don't need
that
to replace
means-
that. Yeah.
But I hope
One day, but I'm saying like initially, like you're not gonna just go try to tomorrow to
No.
replace him.
No.
Like that's what I don't understand. People seem to do a lot, and I see that.
I can't.
But
do
then you
that.
see people like that are going through the things you're going through. They didn't end on bad terms. They didn't get into any arguments. You know, it was just a streak of, nature thing
Yeah.
happened, and they actually don't move on because that love still that was true love is still there, and they can't fill that void with fake. Something that's like put on, and that's what
Right.
bothers me. Is like people do that in other situations.
Well,
Bradley's like was the sweetest man. He's so soft spoken, but
Yeah.
like you can tell that he had like a lot of like childhood stuff going on,
Yeah.
and a lot of things like I don't know. I used to like pick up on little things,
I
because I'm
wish
like
I
very
knew.
observant.
Like, not wish I knew, but I wish I was like, I wish I knew about those things. Not like, I just wish I could pick up on those things. Well, I picked up on it, but I didn't know what to do.
But you were in love.
Yeah, I just
It's
knew.
different.
Yeah, like I knew
It's
there
like
was
somebody
something
being
that-
like, you shouldn't be with I love him. But
But, like,
so,
it wasn't like he was a bad person at all. He was a really
no,
good
he's
person.
such a great fucking person.
But like, this is what I was gonna say.
this is the day he met Granny and all the family and everything. So crazy. He drove up in this $200,000 BMW for some reason. Like a
But it is his mom's.
It's his mom's boyfriend. But he just wanted to impress me.
That's sweet though. Like I would love that.
It was so cool, you know what I mean? And you
I
think
would love that.
we could have took my car, we could have took his car, it didn't matter. But
Right. It doesn't
at the end
matter.
of
Like
the
he was
day,
just
he
being
went out of
nice.
his freaking way to do that.
He
You know
was
what I mean?
literally being nice, so that's sweet.
And yeah, there's moments when I'm like really depressed about it, but
Oh,
I always remember like the
like the
3 weeks
positivity. At
that
least
he
you
was
got
here.
that, you know?
Yeah, he was straight up sitting there telling me,
I, without any context, start to say, there's 3 weeks. These 3 weeks, you know what I mean? I'm naming 3 weeks that something happened, right? Well, Bradley had been out of my life for 2.5 years. There's reasons behind that that I'm not even going to get into, but um, basically, he left me for 2.5 years. The 3 weeks were him finally coming to see me, or it might have been 4 weeks. We talked for about like a month. And at the end of the month, it was March of 2023, my grandma's birthday, the 26th of March, we decided to go to my grandma's 86th birthday. He met all of my family, like 50 people, all of my family on my dad's side. And I was okay with that. I was very okay. I actually felt so at peace with it. And I genuinely was so happy. But there was 3 weeks that he was coming over every single day, or if not every day, every other day, and spending the night with me and things like that. And it was it really felt like it was normal again, finally. You know what I mean? That's how I felt. Oh, thank God, finally, because I waited for him. A total of 6 days had gone by, 1st of April. And I Googled his name. I think it was the middle of the night. I just Googled his name because I was gonna look on Jailview, but I just didn't. Something told me to just Google his name because that would pop up anyways, right? So I Googled his full name. What popped up was an obituary, and I freaked out. I was messaging his sister. I messaged his mom on Facebook. Messaged a family friend who went to school with me. But that's what I mean by 3 weeks.
he wanted me to do well. He always wanted me.
He never was hateful or never cold towards you. He was always
He was like that with everybody too.
yeah, he really is.
But
He's
he
a
loved
sweet
me.
person. I love that still about him. I loved how he was just he
Tell the
never had.
camera that he loved me.
He did love you. He definitely loved you.
Sometimes I feel like it never happened, but it did, and you saw.
He did. He came over at 3 a.m. and 2 a.m. and helped fix my door when it got kicked in by some stupid soul.
He was a good person.
And he was good and he was handy and he made us I say us like I've done part of it. But
No, he wanted to make sure
he
that
included us and made everyone feel comfortable.
he
we went out.
knew that I was so close to
Yeah.
you. He wanted to make sure that
He
was
treated me like
catered.
family.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was family.
I loved that. I loved
And
that about
he'd
him.
take us out, when he took us out on that boat on
That was
4th of
so
July.
amazing.
He was so sweet. He was just a sweet guy.
I'm holding back tears as we speak. There were times where I remember nobody was there for him, and Bradley needed someone to be there for him, and I was there for him. I always was. I was not the type of person to want bad for anyone, quite frankly. But my intentions were nothing but pure for him. He was my best friend. I feel like you were involved a lot more than anybody else was.
On a deeper connection.
Yeah.
Because he felt for me because me and him had a lot of good conversations. We had conversations about struggles, and then me and you would have conversations about struggles, and then we'd all have fun together because we all understood each other.
He brought us out on the boat. You was having a good old time. You shotgunned a beer. I'm like, cause he gonna throw up. Cause he gonna throw up. I don't know why I was saying that.
Why did I shotgun a beer?
I don't know.
Who was I?
It was your idea.
No, it wasn't.
Because I know it seemed like I was going through it. It probably was.
No, because you grieved him, and then you had to grieve him again.
We were talking about YouTube, and he was like, you've done really well. Looking at all of this, you've done really well, whatever, And I was like, thank you, I even told him, too. I was like, I care what you think about it, too, honestly. Because, I probably wouldn't have even been posting so much if he was around.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, I cared what he thought. I didn't care what anybody else thought about it.
I know exactly what you're saying. It's you don't care about what other people.
But he looked me in the face and he said, "Well, one day, when you get all that YouTube money," and I stopped him and I said, "I'm gonna be your sugar daddy." He said, "I'm gonna hold you to that." Because the last thing he said, he told me he loved me, and then he got in the car and drove away. It's of looking at so much footage that I have, I realized how traumatic the things that went on in the past couple of years were, and it had nothing to do with him up until he came back in my life. But before then, the crisis was having to learn how to walk again from a car accident I almost died in. So that was a big thing. I've never had that happen before. But I guess I'll live with, the metal in my leg for the rest of my life, and that's fine. I'm a cyborg. I'm cool with it. My hips do lie. I really would like to just take a break from it, but I know that I also owe myself a little bit more respect.
And so does Bradley. He deserves just as much respect as anyone else. I mean, seriously. And I miss him, and I love him so much. But the one thing I will say is, you don't tell someone to not come to a funeral whenever all they did was try to help. That's all I ever did.